Good morning, everybody. Hope your day is going fantastic. Thank you so much for joining the webinar today live, or if you're watching the recorded archive afterwards, we welcome you and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedules in order to work on your business instead of in your business. Today, the webinar is being hosted by Ferguson HVAC, air cooled and day and night. And I'm your speaker, Jennifer Bagley, CEO and business strategist with CI Web Group. I also have with me Ann Powers, who is one of our amazing team members and the Ferguson accounts manager. CI Web Group is basically a digital marketing and coaching and strategy team filled with around 40 departments and over 75 full-time team members that specialize in many various areas of the digital marketing and business growth hacking world. So you guys, today we're going to be talking about a really interesting topic. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Nearby Now, and we're going to go through what the program is and why it's important, what it does, and how it can benefit your business in growing your overall business, sales, referrals, and everything else. So there is a great benefit to the program. You guys have the ability to earn ICP credits. There's a couple conditions you need to make sure you check with your sales manager. If you have not already, you need to attend the webinar live. So yes, the webinars are recorded. Yes, you can access the archives later. However, in order to earn credits, you guys have to be able to attend the webinar live. And then as soon as the webinar is over, you guys are going to have a brief but very pointed questionnaire. It's going to have a handful of questions in it. I'm going to make sure and cover those topics very thoroughly throughout the presentation so that this should be easy if you guys are able to concentrate. So do whatever you can to put yourself in a quiet room, eliminate all distractions, take those cell phones, put them down flat on the table. That means face down. And you guys, this will be very valuable. All right, so today we're going to talk about reviews. Starting off, the best way to say this is you can't get away very long with doing business without adopting a proactive and very methodical, so intentional, proactive, methodical, systemized, automated, ongoing process for getting reviews. And why? Because you guys, this is client referrals. What does this affect? You have client referrals, vendor, friends, and family referrals, new prospects that are looking you up doing a traditional search engine search or Google search. Maybe they're talking to Siri on their phone or they're on their laptop and they're actually typing in a query into Google and they're looking for you. Also, new prospects from PPC, social media, and so forth. Everybody you touch today, from a lead generation standpoint, at some point is going to be evaluating what do other people think about you. And it's just that simple. In the world of reviews and testimonials, and more importantly, notice I start off with referrals. The way referrals work has changed drastically. The way that consumers are getting referrals has changed drastically. The way that consumers are evaluating referrals has changed drastically. So sometimes it's tough when you're in a business owner standpoint and that your mindset is focused on growing the business. We tend to have a really narrow thought. You know, I recommend for a moment that you take yourself out of the business owner mindset and just put yourself into the husband or wife or head of household or family or homeowner mindset and think about the process that you go through when you have to hire somebody, whether it's a service provider or you're looking at a particular product. You know, how do you look for them? Do you go on Google? Do you do a search from your phone? Do you ask a friend? Once you have a company, a product, or a service, what do you do next? So all too often today in the environment we're in right now, and you guys, this is 2016, I think we're still in July, and so this is going to change next year, which is why I'm dating this webinar, because this is going to get, it's going nowhere but up. It's going to move nowhere but forward. So I promise you, my webinars next year about the exact same topic are going to be much different with different data. When I go stand in front of an audience of homeowners and I ask them a question, what's the next step after you're referred? And this is the interesting case scenario. I ask groups of audiences, if your mother referred you to a service provider to do anything, install a new roof, get new countertops, maybe she wants you to get new carpets, she thinks they're raggedy, whatever it is. If your mother referred you to a contractor, what would you do next? It was over 80% of the room consistently in all surveys that said, I'm going to go to Google, I'm going to type in the company and their location, and I'm going to look at their reviews. So reviews are critical, but there's a very, very strategic approach. Everything when it comes to marketing is connected. So your guys' main focus is this right-hand area over here, which is lead generation. Secondly, in the HVAC world, you guys are also very, very focused, or should be. If you're not, you should be focused on operational efficiencies, creating automation, becoming more effective. In addition to that, you also have a focus which is probably around the HR world, meaning you've got to be recruiting amazing technicians and installers and so forth, and being able to retain the ones that you have, especially in a business that is a little bit bouncy. So because of the seasonal impacts on your business, depending on where you're located, if you have 2 seasons, 4 seasons, 1 season, and so forth, your business is moving somewhat like roller coaster. Most of the strategy sessions we have, it is the exact same. So it's that bounciness. We need to try and level that out. And we can do that through, the perfect mix of one-time products versus recurring sales, great marketing programs, automation, incentives, rewards. There's a lot of different things we can do. But in a nutshell, this lead generation, what we're missing here. So a lot of times this is where people start, but what often gets missed is reviews, marketing, local listings, and so forth. So we're going to talk specifically about that today. Now, first and foremost, I should have a slide in here about budgeting first. You guys, when I'm talking to small business owners, and I have coached thousands upon thousands of business owners, small, mid, and large, and there is a major discrepancy in the structure of budgeting in a small business than there is in a mid-size or a bigger business. So let me just touch on this for a moment. You guys, when it comes to budgeting your marketing efforts, the smaller the company, the higher the percentage of marketing dollars you should be budgeting towards generating new business and growing your business, because you're less known in the community. You need to still establish your brand because it requires more money to do things. You don't have as many resources and so forth. You have all of the startup functions that need to be done. And, in the contractor world, not just HVAC, even companies that have been in business for 10, 15, and 20 years are still technically in that startup phase because their business has not evolved with the proper technologies, the proper systems and structure, or the proper mindset as far as the digital marketing world and how they need to play that game. So we're still in startup, and as you're in startup, you have a lot of expenses that are more infrastructure. If you're on the Ferguson air-cooled preferred dealer program for day and night, you guys, there is an amazing opportunity to be able to get at least the infrastructure piece out of the way. So I definitely encourage you to strive for that. Now, the larger the company you are, the smaller. So typically, if you're doing $1 million, you should be at the 10 to 15% of your annual sales should be allocated towards marketing. If you're, sitting at the 5 to 10 million, you're probably looking at around 8 to 10%. And if you're much higher, then now when you go into the millions or billions, you're starting to look at those lower numbers where their marketing budget's maybe 3, 5, 7, 8% of their annual sales. So that being said, as technically a SMB or a small business owner, when you're making investments and you're making decisions related to your business growth, related to your operations, related to your human resource and capital, it's incredibly important to make sure that you're looking at leveraged investments. What is the impact on sales? What is the impact on marketing investments and initiatives? What is the impact on operations? What is the impact on your season? So when it comes to reviews, we're going to talk about that. How do reviews impact your sales, other marketing investments and initiatives? Best time to focus on getting reviews. We're going to go through and visit about the seasons. And then also we're going to talk about the selection criteria for review systems. I have on here review sites, but really this is review systems. What are the benefits? What are the deficiencies? And when you're looking at different platforms, what kind of benefits and drawbacks come with each one? What should you be looking for? So going back to leveraged investments, a leveraged marketing investment is one activity leveraged across multiple channels to produce compounding results. This is a concept of time and money. And those are really two constants, right? That's like gravity. That's actual truth. Most of the time, our belief system is only the truth to us, but gravity is real truth. If an airplane crashes, it falls. So if gravity goes away, airplane crashes, it falls. Okay, so there's two levers by which compounding exerts its influence. Compounding frequency, or the interval, which is the number of compounding efforts, in a given period or year, and the term, which is the length of time. The reason I bring these two things up, as far as, it's actually three. One is, can you tackle one activity or do one activity or invest in one activity that can be leveraged across multiple channels to produce compounding results? I'll give you an example. If I get a review, taking that review, sending it to a designer, having the designer put it into a beautiful graphic, taking that graphic, posting it out to the other 45 social media sites, dropping it on my website, and oh, by the way, having my social media team schedule it to post every single, let's say it's an air conditioning review. We're going to have it post every year during a hottest season for the next 25 years. That's compounding results. Okay. That's compounding effort. One activity re-leveraged multiple areas without any risk. We didn't duplicate content because it's in an image and so forth. And then time. Time is a constant that we can't adjust. If your domain name is 1 year old, I can't modify that. I can't fix that. That's something you have to deal with, which means if your domain name's 1 year old, you're going to have to work harder than somebody who has a domain name that's 15 years old. Google's evaluating the length of time online. Google's evaluating the length of time that your website is properly designed and built. Google's evaluating the length of time that you have a website that is optimized and categorized correctly within its system, the amount of traffic, and it's looking at it over time. And I'll tell you, in this environment today, technology is changing at such a rapid rate that I had a guy yesterday, he said, I think I feel like I'm just staying in the same place. There is no same place. You're either growing or dying, because the world around you is moving and evolving and changing, in consumers' habits and technology and how they interact with them, how they do research, how they make decisions. Because those things are moving so fast, you're sitting in one of two buckets. You're either growing or dying. So let's move to growing. I like that. All right. First, Google business listings. Google Places, if you guys are not familiar with that, very critical. Google Places is an online tool no local business owner can afford to ignore. With Google Maps also being visible on smartphones, Google Places is infinitely accessible 24/7. When you do a search from an iPhone and you ask Siri, can I get an HVAC contractor, or send me an HVAC, or look up an HVAC contractor in blank, Edmonds, Washington, Siri is going to search through Google Places, be able to identify through the Google Maps system, and based on some specific criteria related to reviews, what vendors or service providers or dealers should appear. And that's the list you get. From there, you tap on a listing that you're interested in. You can either click to call, you can either click to map, you can map to the location, you can read reviews, and so forth. You can check out their promotions. So very, very critical. Google business listing reviews that is the must get done. You should have at the very top of your website an integrated love our service, review us on Google. right at the very top of your site. And that is for the general population reviews. So why is this important? Number one, increased conversions come from visual display that promotes or evokes a positive emotional response. You guys, we're dealing with humans here. So if my mother refers me, so let's say I live in New Jersey, my mother refers me, she said, oh, you should call Folks Heating and Cooling because you have a boiler and you need your boiler repaired, for example. So if I go to Folks Heating and Cooling, this is what I want to see. And this is the first search is typically going to be this version, which is going to be the company name, Folks Heating and Cooling. And I'm in New Jersey. And the feeling that I get when I get here is, oh, okay, folks, meet the team, careers, reviews, and so forth. Right, 108 Google reviews. Dang, almost all 5 stars. This is beautiful. That looks great. I'm glancing at, I got almost all 5 stars on Yelp. I have BBB, Facebook, and so forth. But really what I want this one because this one is going to send me directly to the consumer's website. So side note, number one most important place to get reviews, Google. Why? Because it's not a directory. There's not 6,000 other people on here. When they Google your name, your company's going to show up. If they tap your website, they're on your site. Whereas, I'm not saying these aren't important, but I am saying make sure that these 2 things come up first. Your website, your Google business listing. So, and notice these stars because I'm going to come back to it on the next slide. So then I go into Yelp, Better Business Bureau, Facebook, Angie's List, Review Buzz, and so forth. All right. Now, improved SEO results. So when we're talking about leveraged investments, when you have taken a proactive role in generating new reviews on your Google on your Google business listing page, the leveraged investment, number one, increased conversions from a visual display that evokes a positive response. And this is subconsciously, they're happy, they're comfortable, they're more likely to call. And I will tell you this, if somebody Googles your business, and if you have not done so recently, please take time to do so. What do they see? What do they see? Because your first impression is not your website. Your first impression is the visual display on search engine if somebody is looking for your company name. The second visual response or visual is if somebody does the same search, but instead this time they add the word reviews. That is the next search. Okay, and you'll notice it moves into reviews right after that. So those are the first 2 things that are going to be seen prior to your website. So next is compounding results that are related from improved SEO performance. So this element, you have, it's not even just SEO. When I pulled up that map earlier that had all the little tiny boxes and red arrows everywhere. It was showing you the connection between your website, search engines, content, social media, local listings, business reviews, email marketing, and so forth. Everything is interconnected. When you have a Google business listing that has positive reviews, all of a sudden Google is evaluating your website as a more trustworthy website because Google thinks just like a human does. That's what it's designed to do. It's designed to create a robot, which is a bot, literally, that is evaluating websites based on what human criteria would want to see. Are you relevant? Which means, are you close to what I'm looking for in a search? Do you provide the services that I'm actually looking for? So remember, Google is deaf and blind. So there is read by Braille. You don't have any text. You don't go in the drawer. Consumers looking for air conditioning repair, heater maintenance, heater installation, air conditioning service, air conditioning replacement. If you don't have one page properly optimized for that, and even more than that, by city, which is, we're going to drive into it, by city for every city, community, town that you want to do business in. If you don't physically have content that has that label, air conditioning service in blank, air conditioning service in blank, air conditioning service in blank. And all of those are different cities, whether it's Chino or Riverside or Atlanta or Fishkill, wherever it is. Okay? And in addition to that, the benefit is Google Business Listings owned by Google. Google is technically got online. Google Plus. You have all of these different elements that are all connected. So user preference. Like I said, Google wants to know the same thing as consumers. Are you relative? Meaning, do you have what I need? Are you current? Which is the frequency of new content being posted on your website. If the last time you updated your website was 4 years ago with new content, that's probably a big problem, especially if your competitors in your area or not even in your area, but happen to be optimizing for your area so that they can fill their downtime. If they're adding a blog post once a month and you're not posting new content on your site, that's a problem. And then the third thing is are you trusted? These three things, are you relevant? Are you current? Are you trusted? These three things are looked at very, very closely and heavily weighted by humans, by people, and also by Google. It's identical. So between the improved SEO performance and the social marketing element to it, you have third-party endorsement, new content, and it's relevant. So next, user preference. A business that has a higher rating is going to show up. So when you do a search, and what I mean by that is if I go here and I say, let's go AC repair, let's go Sebastian, Florida. Okay, so when I do a search, AC repair Sebastian, Florida, there's 134,000 results in here. And I want you to look at this one right here. So we have Arnold Air Conditioning sitting here. We have Arnold Air Conditioning sitting here. The reason it's sitting in this is Google Business Listing in the directory format. And it's got only three will show. It has, remember the video is dated, so it's possible this changes in the future. But these three are based on a certain set of criteria, one being who has the most and most frequent reviews. Now, luckily in your industry, it's a little bit behind when it comes to using most of the digital marketing tools to be able to market your business. So you can have 10 reviews and actually really perform on here. All right, so that is a business which has given a higher rating will appear up higher in the search results. Recommendations, the more a user rates the business, the more Google comes up with the business that they like. And friends first. With the friends first results and ratings also being displayed, they will inevitably attract further clicks from users. So when somebody is logged into their Gmail account, which that's the most widely used email, the combination between Google Plus, Gmail, Google Search, and Google Business Listings has a social element that allows you to see what your friends like. So you can technically compound your results even more in a given area if you're able to start creating this kind of web of reviews. Awesome. I didn't even need to go to Google. So review acquisition platforms versus local marketing. So I want to be very careful. We have a lot of companies, they'll come in and they'll say, hey, I've got a review application, and they're talking about review buzz, or I can't even remember all of them. There are dozens and dozens and dozens of review platforms. Doing a point-by-point or side-by-side comparison is totally irrelevant because the application or the system that we're talking about today, Nearby Now, is a system that's focused on gathering reviews primarily as a point of, or as an endpoint or a means to getting or improving local organic rankings. And it also has a really high response rate. So think about it this way. If you're out there and you're searching for review systems or looking at Review Buzz or the lobby, customer lobby, and there's so many of them. if their primary objective is to obtain the review, let the consumer choose from the 100 local business listing sites that accept reviews to go submit a review, and then to retain that information on their own website, and then give you a widget to put on your site. A widget. It's like it's a little chunk of code. It's literally like taking all of your most valuable assets, dropping them into a Folgers coffee can, putting a lid on it, and saying, "Can you see what's inside?" They can't see it. Google can't see it. So many of these review sites are, they're just so behind. It's not about getting reviews. That's a given. That's a no-brainer. That's elementary. It's about getting reviews with the intention of improving how you rank so you can generate new business. So if you think about it, if I have reviews and the only people that can see them are current customers and prospects, then it has absolutely zero impact on new client generation or lead generation, because I already did the heavy lifting. I already did the work. I already got the person to my site. They're looking at my reviews on this widget, and the widget provided zero value other than hopefully it can help me close the deal, which is increased conversions. So platforms that focus exclusively on gathering reviews without any direct organic local benefit on your website. Remember, your number one most valuable asset should be your website. That's your baby. That's you own that. I see way too many dealers spending all their money on third-party services and not dumping it into the one thing that if you ever decided to sell your business actually goes in your valuation report and there's dollar signs attached to it. It's something that improves the valuation of your business, and it's yours. You own it. So you're the one that has it redone every couple years, which you should. Versus if you dump all your energy into a third-party system, you don't own that content. You don't own the application. They can change the rules of the game, which they all do frequently, tomorrow, and you're stuck with whatever they decide to do. It may be positive and help your results. It may be negative and drop you off the face of the planet, and your business tanks overnight, which I've seen many times as well. So there's a huge difference, in summary, between review acquisition platforms. Those are platforms that focus exclusively on getting more reviews. That's cool. Elementary, but cool. And then there is the complex local marketing, which is a local SEO platform that is driven from reviews in order to generate more results. So I love this. I love this example. These guys are absolutely incredible. So I'm actually going to show you the real example because it's always better in person. So we're going to go in here. I'm going to say ACE. No, actually, they're electrical. So I'm just going to say electrician Atlanta. Look at this number. There are 18.1 million pages in this drawer. That's your competition. When you do a Google search for a specific set of words or phrases, here's your competition. Don't worry about who's on the street or who's driving the pink van or the van with the penguin. This number is your competition online. You need to be in the top 10 out of 18.1 million. Now, if I scroll down, these guys are not even located in this city. They're not in Atlanta. That's not where their physical location is. Notice they're not showing up in the Google business listings. The only way to show up in the Google business listing is to meet all of Google's criteria. And oh yeah, you have to have a physical office there in that city. So they don't have one. However, they're sitting in a page 1, position 1 rank out of 18.1 million other pages. You're number 1 of 18 million. And if you're looking at it, notice their review marks are showing up here. 776 reviews. This did not happen overnight, I promise you. And they have been diligent about participating. This has to be participating. It has to be a collaborative approach. But notice here, you have Atlanta, Georgia's electrical service and repairs, TE certified electricians. You have the company name, / service areas, / Atlanta, Georgia, electrical service and repairs. So in a traditional SEO environment, you're focused on the key phrases that represent the services you sell and consumers look for. Joint, not one or the other. Okay. So in a traditional SEO environment, you have to focus on creating pages and content for AC repair, AC maintenance, AC installation, AC service, AC replacement, and so forth. Same thing. Heater service, heater repair, heater installation, heater maintenance, heater service, blah, blah, blah. Now, here's the difference. With a geo-based SEO review or geo-based SEO goal, the service areas come first, the service comes second, and you can only focus on one primary service. So this is the main category. So technically, you guys are heating and air conditioning service companies. If you're in hotter climate or warmer climate, then you're going to go with air conditioning and heating service contractor, or air conditioning and heating service, period. But you're going to have dozens and dozens and dozens of pages for every location. So if I drill into this site, and I'm actually going to pull up another one as well. Okay, so this is step one in your SEO plan. You need to have one page per service. That's a given. Okay, same here. If I go here, one page per service. You can continue to add, but you need to have one page specifically. So if I just say ducts, if I have a page, and I just saw it yesterday, which made me bring it up, somebody had a page on there that says ducts. So if I go to Google and I type in ducts, this is what I get. Mallards. Okay, so you want to be careful with how you label things and be as literal as possible. All right, so services are first. This is a traditional SEO program where you have all of these services. Then you have supportive blog content that you have to publish on a regular basis in order to drive rankings for all of these services. If consumer is looking for repair versus replacement versus maintenance versus service, please trust me, they're all over the board. They're all over the board. I've seen everything in between. They don't just look for heating repair. They also look for heater repair, furnace repair, air conditioner repair, air conditioning repair, AC repair. So this is bigger than what you see right here. So that's an SEO training. We'll come back to that. Now, back to reviews. So what we looked for was electrician, Atlanta, Georgia. It's in the title. It's in the H1. It's also in the body text. It's also in the text. And when I scroll down, so notice this, the heat map is going to show, this is every one of the reviews they've got, all the stars. And then you have all of the check-ins, which is all of these other colors, the green. This is showing where they service. So here's the benefit. The way the system is integrated with the website, every one of your technicians and installers has an app on their phone. They can check in every time they go on a job site. They check in. This is Jamie is putting a panel replacement in Atlanta. Troubleshooting an outlet, not working. Bad GFCIs. Jamie's troubling indoor lighting and so forth. So this is frequent content. Look at this. This guy's doing great. 1 day ago, 23 hours ago, 22 hours ago, 2 hours ago. So what does this give Google? Current content. Completely controlled and created by your team. So you're not paying for content writers for all of this. It's brilliant. And in addition to that, as they're on the call, they're asking for reviews. And now you have consumer-driven content, which is current, frequent content. It's related to the service that they provide. It is also, so it's current, it's relative, and most importantly, it's a trusted review. So based on Google's schema, this is incredible. Same thing when you get in here, if you go into service areas. So the difference is usually when you start off and you're trying to get the basics down, you'll start off and all you have is a page that says our service areas, and you put the county and you list the cities. Put the county, list the cities. Put the county, list the cities. The problem is the only thing that Google sees with that is the word our service areas. No different than Mallard. So if you see that page on the site, That's fine temporarily because you probably have other priorities that have to get done first. But if I look for our service areas, what do I get? 795 million pages. And I'm getting gas companies, electric companies, Zoom Energy, service areas for Google's natural gas, rock utilities, white tide maids. I'm all over the board, right? This is a standard issue on majority of websites that are out there. No different than somebody saying our services. Worst page you could have on a website. 2.7 billion pages in this drawer. Absolutely not helpful at all. Okay, so back to here. All right, so as we go through here, there's so many different companies. So again, the difference between local SEO and reviews only solutions boils down to really 6 things. You need to generate reviews as a means to generate hyper local, down to the city, down to the town, down to the community. You want the lowest level, or you want to go to the lowest common denominator of the location. The best way to do that on your phone, because your phone is going to geotag that area, town, city, to benefit your website. Next, you want your reviews. You want to get them. The best time to get reviews, you guys, on site, solicited by you. If you're sitting in a customer's home, that is the absolute best time to ask for a review. You're right there and you're like, oh, my boss won't let me come back without a review. Can you please help me? I can send you a text message real quick. Boom, you could give me a review and we'd be all good. And then you're right there. They're like, oh, what do I do? And you're looking over their shoulder and you're like, oh, just put that and, just click the 5 stars. Just that one. Write something amazing. Tell me my hair looks good. Whatever it is. Okay. But right there, when you're in the customer's home, I just had 2 guys. I just bought a new house here, and I had 2 guys do the exact same thing to me. They're like, hey, we're done with our service. Are you happy? The first thing they asked me is, am I happy? Yes, absolutely. I did a great job. And they're like, great. Can I give you a review? Or can I get a review from you? And then here's where they dropped the ball. They said, well, go to our website and fill out the review form. A, ADD, probably a problem. B, my life is busy. Everybody's life is busy. They're not going to remember that. So don't count on that. Postcards, no, don't count on that. Sending them to your site, sending them a follow-up email. Ugh. Right then. Get it while you're there. All right, richness of content, particularly the check-ins. Cool part is the review only works if you get it. So you get 40% of the total requested reviews that you get if you're on site and you ask properly. However, you get 100% of the check-ins. So imagine getting local SEO value if all your service techs and technicians and installers did was just tap a button on their phone, write a couple words, and check in everywhere they went. Also, direct credit for the content. Google requires content. Content is king. I'm sure you heard that. I talked about you being frequent, current, which means Google wants to see new content added to your site on a regular basis. If you're not talking, you're not selling. Talking in Google's world is content. Content. If you stop talking in your business, you'll stop selling. Online with a digital marketing strategy, if you stop adding new content, unique, relative, current content, you stop selling, at least digitally. Okay, you own the content. I just got done talking to a gentleman and he was like, oh, I got sold on this review company and I probably have, I've got 100 reviews in their system. I'm not going to mention the system's name, but it's not nearby now. I see that. And he was like, they won't let me transfer it. I'm like, huh? He was like, they're not going to let me transfer it. I'm like, you can't migrate it. It's not your data. No, but it's your reviews. Yes, but it's not your data. No. So I even got on the phone with this company and I'm like, are you serious? So literally we had one of our guys that got assigned to a project to have to take pictures, screenshots of every single tiny review, and then we're going to use them all over his site. So that's a cost, an upfront cost. Didn't plan on it because he didn't know better and to choose this review platforms. So don't arbitrarily listen to the great sales guy that tries to sell you on the review system. All right. Very few review-only solutions provide full location schema. So there is a SEO schema or a Google SEO schema, and this gets totally nerdy, and this is no different than you explaining how an air conditioner is manufactured to me. I probably will check out you too. Bottom line is the people who build review sites are not SEO experts. They have to be an SEO expert in order to understand Google's SEO schema. Shoot, most of the people who build websites are not SEO experts. And what's the point of putting an online brochure that no one sees, right? So your biggest challenge, you guys, this is creating strong local singles around your physical location and well-optimized websites and consistent business listings. Now, I just said 3 things, right? So strong local signals, and that's a complex version of interaction, reviews, people, popularity, okay? Around your physical location, in the physical location, and identified to Google that they are in the physical location, as well as a well-built and optimized website. That has to do with labeling, content, metadata, backlinking, blah, 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 and local business listings. This is really cool because the Ferguson program for the preferred dealer program, like I said, the infrastructure is already built in there. If you're not on it, that's my little side pitch. You need to work towards getting there. All right. So next, the challenge when your prospects are looking for the service, they're getting too many options. So you want to be careful when you're looking at review sites like Yelp and ReviewBuzz and or not ReviewBuzz. If you're looking at Yelp or Better Business Bureau, Home Advisor, those are directory engines. So if you're driving reviews to any of those sites, you're literally sending your customers you're sending a prospect who already has contacted you and saying, go check out my reviews on Yelp. And they have 30 other options there or 100 other options, depending on where they're at. So be careful. You don't want to drive people to a directory that has all your competitors sitting in it, because people are scatterbrained and they go look and you might lose them and never know. All right, so that's number one. You want to keep this on your site. Keep it on your site. Utilize, you got to do Google Business Listings, but keep it on your site, your website. Google Business Listings, 2 most important. Not all the directories. The directories have to be there. They have to be consistent. They have to have a couple reviews, but drive your things need to be driven here. A small business can build strong, fresh, and frequent local signals without even having to have an office. You can go everywhere. So normally what happens is a small business owner or a contractor, the only place they can get ranked quickly from an SEO campaign is the area they have a physical address, a Google business listing, and strong SEO and content in the area they have an office. Now, if they don't have an office and they're virtual business, they can do the exact same thing anywhere with the combination of web, great SEO, great content, and Nearby Now reviews platform. Local reviews, great part is, most of these, when we're looking at these examples, this one I pulled off one of our client sites, they're rated 4.9 out of 5 stars. That's based on 3,480 customer reviews. It's easy to use. You guys, this works just like Facebook. If they've ever seen a Facebook account, it works like Google Maps. You literally open up an app and you click this little button right here. It says check in. You write 3 things and you hit go. Google the app is already connected to Google Map. It's going to pinpoint that you're in this particular city right here. And you hit submit, boom, done. You've checked in. That's a guarantee you're going to get it. All you have to do is get your service guys, technicians, just to do that. So check-ins, they can upload videos, they can upload photos, they can snap a picture with their phone and upload them. You'll see over here. He checked in, took a picture of these wall units or outdoor units. Same thing here, and dropped it into his app right from his phone. 40% response rate. I can even help you increase that more. Seamless integration into your site. We take care of that for you. This is an add-on service. So Nearby Now is a third-party application. I'm telling you about it because as a company, we spent a tremendous amount of time evaluating what drives local performance across multiple cities. Because you guys don't just want to be found in one city. You want to be found in 20 cities, 30 cities, 40 cities, depending on the complex, where you're located. And we also did a huge evaluation on review systems and started just basically, pegging off the ones that don't make sense. This is not enough. It doesn't make sense. The content's going into somebody else's site, not your own. And then, okay. So flawless schema, this is what I was talking about. This is the nerdy thing, similar to how AC System's built. Unlimited users. You guys can have a team of 5. You can have a team of 30. Ultimate and unlimited hyper local pages. So here's the thing. Nearby Now, they charge a set rate. I want to say it's $2.99 for their system on a monthly basis, and they charge a $300 setup fee. Because of our relationship with Ferguson, we were able to negotiate that they won't charge the setup fee. We'll take care of it on our end, so there is no setup fee, and the only monthly is the Nearby Now SEO application. And in addition to that, so if you have a WordPress website or you're in the preferred dealer program, which of course you're going to have one, every time you check in a new city, we will see it and we'll go add that service page at the end of the month, that area. Every time you get a review, so you get a review in this city from a customer, and we'll see it at the end of the month, we'll go and we'll create another local page. So hands-free, all you guys got to do is ask for reviews. Unlimited check-ins and reviews, real-time reports. The reports are really great because we've been able to create, a group of team players that, well, let me back up. One of the biggest challenges is how do you get your team to feel the same way, the same passion, and to function the same way as you do with your business. And I get that. It's hard. If you have employees, technicians, and so forth, that is difficult. You want them to have that same ownership level, but that's difficult. That's not always going to be the case. So being able to give them a role in growing the business and building the business and really being able to impact the overall growth and being able to express to them the benefits, having fun games, incentives, rewards, being able to say, all right, you guys, I want to see top check-ins. Don't check in at McDonald's. Okay, so just fun things. Now, what we've done is we have an onboarding and a coaching program where we're helping our dealer owners motivate, educate, and teach their staff to be able to take this on and really make amazing results. And so sometimes it's easier, think about when you're growing up or your kids, sometimes it's easier to hear it from coach than it is from dad. I'll say that, or mom. You said the same thing, but all of a sudden theirs is right. So, this is something we can help with, but you have check-in lists, activity reports, you have request reports, you have leaderboards that have all of your staff, how many check-ins, how many reviews, how many have been requested, how many have been completed. So the reporting is incredible. And you own your data. You own your data. You ever switch gears, you want to go somewhere else, you do something different. The data is yours. Those are your reviews. That's very, very important. And we take care of the back-end integration. So you remember earlier when I talked about you have to be live in order to get ICP credits, and there will be a questionnaire. Okay, so what seasons are most critical to focus on getting reviews? You guys, your busy season. So contractors tend to check out of everything when you're in your busy season. You guys are in attics, you're in crawl spaces, you're in basements, you're in garages, you're on tops of roofs. I get it. However, there is one activity that it would be the greatest, disheartening, saddest missed opportunity to see you go another season, another busy season without having the perfectly designed and developed website, great SEO, and all that can be done without your participation. Very little participation, I'll say that. Very little, like 5 steps. And most importantly, you guys are in everybody's homes. This is when a company goes back and this is one of those moments where you look back and you go, I wish I would have, right? And I have these conversations with my coaching clients all the time when they'll say, I wish I would have been collecting email addresses from the day that we went into business. I wish I would have implemented a CRM system from the day I started business. I wish I would have implemented an online scheduling system that's connected to my site. I wish I would have had digital documents. I wish I would have gotten a review from the thousands of customers that we've seen over the last 10 years. It's the hugest missed opportunity to not take advantage of that. Getting a review. So here's the flip side, okay? You have proactive and you have reactive. You have offense and defense. So proactive is you guys are asking for reviews while you're in the home with the customer, and you're only asking for the ones that are happy with your service. So if they have to get a review while they're in there and it's got to be positive, are they going to be more likely to give you a positive review or a negative review? So you just want to be really, really careful with that. Next, so the other thing to think about is if you don't play an active role in requesting reviews, who's the one that actually reaches out and gives you a review? If you think about it, if you're not asking for them, who's leaving them? Typically, this is going to be only the people who are upset. Only the people who are upset. And there's a lot of dealers that are sitting in that position where the only reviews they have are the negative ones because they never took a proactive approach. So all of a sudden they go to reactive and having to play defense. We've even seen businesses that have had to literally restructure, rebrand an entirely new company because of the negative reviews. And it wasn't that they had a lot of negative reviews. It was that they had 10, but they'd done thousands and thousands, in upwards of 10,000 or 20,000 projects. But those 10 reviews make it look like they're a horrible company, and the expense to rebrand is not good. So take advantage of your busy season. It needs to be intentional. We need to make sure that your team is trained and educated. All right. Next, what's the most important kind of review? Solicited and in person. Ask for it. Ask for it when you're right there smiling. Everything's clean. Everything's picked up. It's tidy. Ask for the review. And if your guys aren't ready for it yet, I promise you I can help them get there, okay? Being shy, timid, all that stuff, it's got to go away here in business. And we don't have time for that. All right, next. When you're choosing a review platform, what are the things that make your investment leveraged? So what 2 platforms? 2 platforms are going to provide you with the highest leveraged investment. 1, Google Business Listing. Oh, by the way, it's free to set up. Okay. And your optimized website with the reviews integrated into the site. Those are the 2 most important things. If you're shoving people to Angie's List, no one can see it unless you're a member. If you're shoving people to Yelp, there's 400 other contractors on there. If you're shoving people to Better or Review Buzz puts the reviews, your reviews on their website, and that's how they build their business. You're actually part of their marketing budget. You're paying them to help them market through your content on their website, and then say, oh, you can have your reviews. We'll give you a widget that's invisible. That's the Folgers coffee can you can put on your site. No. All right, next one. What kind of review produces the best result? Solicited and in person. Don't leave them out there. Don't leave them. If you have grumpy bumpkins, and there's a different way to do that. We have a phone number that we can attach to it that allows somebody to call in to leave a review, and they can leave a message and you get those messages, take action. If you're not giving your customers a place to voice their frustrations, they will find one, I promise you. So best, most positive reviews, solicited and in person. Two most important factors when you are choosing your reviews destination. Where do you want them to go? Number one, that it's leveraged for multiple purposes. Leverage for multiple purposes, so that's compounding impacts on your business. And two, it has a positive impact on your local SEO results because that's what generates new leads. So cool, you have a review that'll help you get more conversions, but why not let that same review help you get more business and increase conversions? That's better. All right, we already did this. Okay, so don't forget, how to earn ICP credits. You're here, love it. Answer the questions provided at the end of the webinar or emailed to you within the next 24 hours of the webinar. That you're going to get a message out of GoToWebinar. So fill out those questions. Make sure you're clear and concise and you put that on there. And you guys, if you're interested in signing up for a free strategy session with us, Ann Powers, she is absolutely incredible. She's the account manager. She knows the Ferguson dealers and the locations in the area and the day and night program. And the air cooled program, she knows like the back of her hand. She's absolutely incredible. So if you have not been to fergusonbdc.com, that's a great resource. It's growing, it's building, it's a newer site. But there's a lot of cool stuff on there. You know, these videos from our training series are on there, so you can access the archives if you need to watch it later. So watch them live so you get the credits, then go back, watch them later when you have time, or invite your team to watch those as well. And there's some other video training tutorials on there. There's an event calendar and so forth. So check out that site as well. Other than that, and that's where you can schedule the strategy session with Ann. Bottom right hand corner says contact, click it, choose Ann, sign up for a strategy session. Boom, you're good to go. If you have questions on the dealer, preferred dealer programs, get in touch with your sales rep. I've said it probably 3 or 4 times. Whatever you're currently doing within your business, whoever you're working with, these guys are absolutely dedicated. They have put in a tremendous amount of energy and focus on delivering a program that is truly going to change the way your business functions in order to provide you with a different result. Between the training and education programs, the dealer programs, all the infrastructure that's put in there, getting this stuff out of the way, hiring the best of the best company to get it done, and all of the other things that Ferguson and Air Cooled and Day and Night have put together. You guys, this is a really, really big opportunity to not have to go hunting for a vendor and you try and tell them what to do. It would be like me giving my HVAC guy instructions on how to do his job. So you're in a really good position to get the coaching and support, the education, and the service that you guys need. So with that, thank you so much for attending today. I greatly appreciate it, or watching the broadcast, post-broadcast. Have a fantastic rest of your summer. And right now, you better, you got 30 days before you got to start preparing for the heating season, redoing your SEO, new key phrases. Remember, in order for you to concentrate on the next season, you need to start the season before when it comes to SEO, the season current, when you're in it for social media. It's 9 o'clock. And with that, this session has ended. Thanks again, you guys.